Hello everyone, um, welcome back, and I am going to tell you today something a little bit about why level 1 and 2 wizards are sadly quite bad at casting and dispelling spells in the old world. What I see a lot with especially newer players is that they, especially when they start out, they have a smaller army, they take a level 1 or a level 2 wizard. Because it makes sense that with a smaller army you take a lower casting, lower level wizard. Um, and often people are advised not to do that for some very good reasons, because of with how the game is designed. And I honestly think this is a bit of a design mistake from GW. Level 1 and level 2 wizards are just bad for their points at casting and dispelling spells in the old world. And looking around, I haven't really found any videos explaining exactly why that is the case, even though it is advice that's very often given. So I thought I'd make a video to sort of in a more shorter form tell you why exactly level 1, why you probably shouldn't take a level 1 and level 2 wizard in your army. First off, what do wizard levels in the old world actually do, and what does a higher wizard level get you? Well, first off, it gets you more spells. For each wizard level you get to generate a spell at the beginning of the game. So level 1 gets 1, level 4 gets 4. It gives you additional pluses to cast and to dispel. For level 1 you get 2d6 plus 1 and that's your casting result. And for a level 4 you get 2d6 plus 4 and that is your casting or dispelling result. You get to add your level both to casting and dispel attempts. And also fourthly, crucially, you get more dispel range. So level 1 or level 2 wizards get 18 inches of dispelling equity of a circle around them, while level 3 and level 4 wizards get a 24-inch bubble around them. Of course, for high level wizards, they always cost more points than lower level wizards. But in this video, I'm going to explain to you why that investment is basically always worth it if you want your wizard to be casting spells and dispelling spells, and what I think the mistakes RGW kind of made with this. Well, first off, you got to know is that crucially a casting roll is a 2d6 roll, and you get to add your wizard level to that. So you would think that level 1 to level 2, level 3 is a gradual increase of power, but it's actually more than a gradual increase, because if you roll 2d6, the results tend to skew towards the middle, because as you can see in this graph here, there are more ways with 2d6 dice to roll a 7 and than there is as opposed to a 2. So on average, you and your opponent will more likely than not both roll around a 7, and then you get to see that even though you think that the +1 may be a gradual increase, it's actually more than you would expect it to be, because when you both usually roll a 7, if I have +4 and you have +2, I will well, win just a lot more often than you would think. It's also very important to note that when dispelling, you actually have to beat the casting roll. Just equaling it is not enough, so that also makes it so in the game that you actually makes it so you're a little bit more likely to cast a spell even if the wizard levels are of the same level, which I do think is an intended mechanic, because well, it makes it so spells actually go off, which is kind of the point, right? You don't want every spell, a single spell to fill, or more spells to fill than not. But the bigger this difference becomes, the bigger the chance is that because the dice rolls skew to the center, your higher level wizard is able to actually cast spells. So that's the first thing, because 2d6 dice rolls and because casting rolls are of 2d6, things skew to the middle. So your level 2 wizard is just really going to suffer from a level 4 wizard, both with casting and dispelling. Another very important thing is the dispel range. 18 and 24 inches both, they seem pretty pretty equidistant. But the difference of the surface is actually quite big. And the surface of an 18-inch bubble is actually a little bit more than 1,000 square inches, while a 24-inch bubble is actually a surface of 1,809 square inches. So even though there's only a 6-inch difference in the bubble you get, you almost get double as much space on the board where you can actually dispel. So might seem like not that big of an issue, the 18 and 24 inches, but it gives you almost double the surface area to work with. Added on to top of that is that spells are pretty short range, and this can lead to what I call dispel bullying from higher levels to lower level wizards. So first I'll show you what those the difference in those bubbles actually means. So to show this is the bubble of a level 1 to level 2 wizard on a semi-normal table when he's in the middle of the table. You see your little skink priest right here has got an 18-inch bubble. He can just around reach the buildings. He's got some of the cornfields. But if we compare that to let's say a level 4 wizard standing in roughly the same place, so this high elf mage, his dispel bubble actually reaches almost over the end of the table, even though he's in the middle. And he compasses the complete buildings. He even compasses both the hills, who are in opposite sides of the board. So you can see that the area that he can dispel is just a lot more than you would think from first glance. And this has a few results, mainly that you just get to cover a lot more of the area of the board with just one model, but also we can get something that is called dispel bullying. And what quite often happens in games is that, for example, you see the level 4 wizard on the left, and for example the level 1 or level 2 wizard on the right is able to get his dispel bubble on the on the level 1 or level 2 wizard, while the level 1 or 2 wizard is not even able to dispel the spells of the level 4. And because a lot of spells, especially good spells, are cast at the beginning of your turn, enhancement and hexes are cast before you move. So if you want to cast enhancement or hex spells and your opponent constantly keeps moving you within his dispel range, while you are not allowed to dispel him, that makes it so, for example, enhancements and hexments, which are often very good spells, are dispelled all the time, but you do not even get to roll against your opponent. So as a conclusion, I think you should just never take a level 1 or level 2 wizard from a competitive perspective. I should say, make it very clear, just for casting and dispelling, because of the reasons I mentioned, because the maths are against you with the 2d6 roll, and because of the area. You generally need another reason to take a level 1 or level 2 caster. Good reasons for that are in Undead, their wizards also get the Arise special rule. This makes it so their wizards can actually also raise models, and they can do it very well. In that army, especially if you can get pluses to cast, it might still be fine to take level 1 or level 2 wizards for other special rules that they have. And for example, in Lizardman, if in that army, if you take 2 Engines of the Gods, you can get casting bonuses from them, and because you cannot fit 2 Stegadon rares in the rare slot with Engines of the Gods, because that goes outside of your rare allotment. You actually have to take a Skink Priest, which has to be a level 1 or level 2 wizard with a Stegadon to be able to get those 2 Engines of the Gods, to be able to get casting bonuses. So once again, there's another benefit that's added to the wizard that makes it you want to take the wizard in the first, to take the model in the first place, and then sort of the casting is sort of a nice benefit that you get. But I think because of also how the points are structured in the game, level 1 or level 2 wizards are just relatively quite expensive when you compare them to their level 3 and 4 counterparts. It's just a bad idea to take them. I hope this short explainer video is a way to convince your friends that are just starting out with the game that they really shouldn't take a level 1 or 2 wizard. And I hope to see you all again soon.